Hello and welcome back to the Elite Racing Series. Here we are tonight. Had our Memorial Day weekend off. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their weekend, enjoyed the racing that we got to see last Sunday. Tonight we're coming at you live on the Elite Racing Network for the Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series from Darlington. This is the first race in the second round. We have Darlington, Milwaukee, and Iowa. Tonight we have the Darlington 150. It's going to be 110 laps around Darlington. What are you looking to see here, Nick, as we kick off the second round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of the same guys running up front in these races. You know, this is the first round we've had where I feel like there's no wild card. You know, it's straight up Darlington, Milwaukee, and Iowa. So you're going to see a lot of guys that run well, typically like Fody, probably Tate Lytle up there. I think a lot of guys, we're looking forward to hopefully making it to this round. I think that was their goal, and then once they got here, I think they're going to feel pretty good about it. But yeah, it should be exciting night tonight. Darlington's a fun track. A lot of tire conservation, slide jobs, probably some mayhem. We'll see.
Yeah, and just to get everybody caught up on the points, we kick off tonight. We have Tyler Fody, David Tooker, Garrison Hogan, Josh Adams, Matthew Weeks, Andrew Rucker, Vincent Isabella, Jay Knorr, and Zach Evans are our playoff drivers for tonight. And in 3 weeks, we'll narrow that down to 4 people going for a championship. But who's your picks to get through this round here, Nick?
Ooh, this round, let's see here. Pull up the points. I think, Fody's got a pretty comfortable lead. I think he's built up all those bonus points through the regular season. I think Fody would probably advance. I look to see Garrison Hogan here tonight.
He is.
Yes.
He'll be rolling off to grid 12.
Yeah, I would look for Fody, Hogan. I'm going to say Weeks advances. I'm going to say, yeah, that's my 4. Fody, Hogan, Weeks. I'm going to go Tooker.
All righty, we'll see how that shapes up. I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors here. Everybody at the Mrs. Goody's Grand National Series. Everybody at Mrs. Goody's, C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, Powerhouse Recycling, and JD's Hilltop Salvage. Looking here real quick to get some starting order in. I know we're coming around here to start this race. Tate, Chad, David Tooker, Matthew Weeks, and Jesse Rasmus are the top 5. Josh Adams will be coming from the back. Tate Lytle's got the field in hand. And he is going. Great jump there for Tate.
Looks like him and Tooker probably in the team channel there. Both getting good starts. Good start to the round for these guys, starting right up front where they need to be.
Yeah, it's always important to start up front. Everybody getting single filed out really quick here.
Don't know why that caution keep for it for now.
And as you see the drivers scroll on the top of the screen, those in white are playoff guys. Try to pick them out when they're coming through. Just everybody's already single file, Nick.
Tate got a little loose right there. Tooker's gonna have the look. Chad's gonna try to maybe follow him here. Oh,
man, that was almost. That's what that was.
Yeah, that could have been ugly down there in turn 1. There's not usually room for 2 cars going side by side through there. I think they got away with them right there, especially Tate being, in this playoff hunt.
Yeah,
actually Tate is not in the playoff hunt. I take that back.
Yeah, and Chad's one of the guys. He got eliminated last week too, so he's, maybe got a little chip on his shoulder. Going to be aggressive. Tate once again sideways off of 2. I think Tate's just giving it up. He pulled left. I think he just said, you know what? This isn't worth it. From what these drivers were telling me, this car takes off pretty loose for about 10 laps or so, and then it snugs up. Based on what I'm seeing out of that 2 car, it looks like it's a little free. Chad is up there trying to hunt the lead now.
He was running about probably half a lane lower than Tooker right there in 3 and 4, which I like. You know, I think it's a little early to go up there and kind of be riding the wall. You know, you don't want to knock the wall down and get damaged this early in the race.
Tate just got a piece of the wall off of 2. Matthew Weeks might have followed him into it. They might have both hit the wall. Tate's looking really sideways right now. He is, as sideways as that car is, it might not tighten up. He might just really lay on that right rear. Right on board here with Tate.
Good battle back here between Barbieri and Jeff Green. Barbieri went all the way down below the apron in 3 and 4 to try to make the pass. Couldn't quite make it work though, but he was running way down there.
Yeah, this is one of those places that is usually pretty racy. Like, you got a lot of different lanes you can be in. Especially as the tires wear, you can start exploring some different options.
And these guys are not giving anything going into turn 1. You saw 64 Rucker and Barbieri go in there side by side. Nobody wants to give up the spot. And that could backfire, you know. You don't roll out of the throttle down there. You both go in there, plow the wall down, take each other out of the thing.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. There's a couple guys that are really moving forward right now. One of them is Josh Adams. He started 27th. He is up to 14th. He did not get a lap in. He wrecked it in qualifying. They had to pull the back up off the truck. But he is slicing and dicing through this field. Ooh, nearly contact there with Zach Evans. Garrison Hogan started 12th. He's up to 7th. Vincent Isabella's up to 12th from 21st. And some guys, you know, we hate to talk about them, but they're falling the other way. Robert Hill started 11th. He's back to 24th. I believe that Robert Hill might have been sent to the back along with Jesse Rasmus. They might have had some EOLs there at the start. So, Nick, at the start of these races, do you want to try to maximize your speed, or do you... Oh, we got a caution. It looks like Brent Jones has got a piece of it down here into turn 3. Scott Crump may have gotten a piece of it as well. He's pulling into pit road. So off of 2, it looks like we had 2 separate incidents here. Off of 2, it looks like the 70 drove up on the back of somebody else, almost hit him. That got them out of shape. And then going down into 3, the 32 got into the back of the 89. Churned Brent Jones.
70 gets a little loose right there. Coming back up. Oh, then he gets loose again going in the corner.
Oh, it's further in front of these boys. They're reacting. Look at Scott Crump here down into 3. Scott Crump gets into the 81 and they wreck. Brent Jones checked up for the wreck and got hit. That's what happened. Wow, that's where Scott Crump got all his damage.
Oh, they weren't even checking out for the wreck. I don't think they were just a little contact going in the corner. Joey Chapman and Scott Crump right there.
Yeah, that very interesting place to wreck there, for sure.
And most of these guys opting to come down pit road here. I'm kind of surprised.
Did we have a bunch of pit stops there? I was looking at the replay for the wreck. Yeah, we did.
Trying to see who's the first one down pit road.
It looks like maybe the 46, the 12, and the 56.
Yeah, it looks like Barbieri was the first one to.
Yeah, Barbieri, Isabella.
Goodman, Hosack, and Chapman, Trey Holmes, Brent Jones, Dustin Dewar, Robert Hill.
Yeah, I thought we had more than that. We're kind of diving into that replay there.
But we did have some 2 tire takers that time on pit road.
14 on back, looks like.
Dustin Dewar was one of those guys that chose to pit.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris. You see all these cars flying around here out of shape. I mean, would you want to try 2 tires?
They might have gotten no tires. Dustin Dewar got no tires. I think that was damage repair. Trey Holmes, just fuel only for Trey Holmes. Joey, just fuel only.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call because we fell off about 3/4 of a second right there in times and just about 10 laps. So you can come down and take tires and make up a lot of time, but you only got 4 sets in the pits.
You only got 3 sets in the pits.
Oh, 3 sets, even worse. So yeah, it's to roll the dice. You could come down pit road, bet you're gonna get a long green flag run.
So the top 12 here have stayed out. 13th, 14th, and 15th and 16th are fuel only. Barbieri is the first car on 4 tires and 17th. That is where we stand. Pace car will drop off here. The field will be in control of David Tooker, who has picked the bottom. We'll see if him and Tate are communicating here once again. Leader's gone. Green is out. Pretty good start for Chad Frankenfield that time. He might even be able to stay beside him.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the wiggle out of the 19. Maybe
Tooker's going to slide up.
I'll tell you, Chris, this is a Chad I do not want to race. He's got nothing to lose out here. He's not in the playoffs anymore. I would watch out for that 15. I mean, we know he's aggressive, but when he's got nothing on the line.
Yeah, and he's got a point to prove too. Maybe he feels like he should be in the playoffs. He is all over Tooker, stalking him. And if you're one of those guys that just pitted, you want to run to like 60 or 70 before we get another caution. If we run 10 laps and get another caution, that's worst case scenario.
We got one on the wall. Matthew Weeks maybe getting a little piece of the wall back there in 1 and 2. Got it pretty good.
That was a big piece of the wall, yeah. Josh Adams on his new tires. Wow. Josh just licked the stamp. That's what 4 new tires will do for you.
And these guys that pitted are hoping that it just goes green for at least 40 laps. So thanks to what they're hoping.
Oh yeah, they need this thing to stay green.
And that's a big roll of the dice too. I mean, Josh Adams isn't in the playoff hunt here, so to do something that's different than everybody else that early on in the race, that could pay off big, but it could also backfire on him.
Well, now he's up to 8th. He's definitely made the most progress of anybody on those newer tires. It's just crazy watching these guys with new tires run down these guys on older tires. If we watch Garrison Hogan look to the inside, Tyler Fody, Josh Adams passing another car.
See how much of a run he gets out of it too.
He is able to pass him when he gets to him. Chad Frankenfield going to lose 2nd here. Not sure if he hit the wall in 1 and 2, but he lost all kinds of ground all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is a place where if you use those tires more than somebody else, more than guys around you, that it's really going to show.
I'm very interested to see if Josh can still make just as quick a work as these guys. Because you've got all of them trying to pass each other as well.
See Fody trying to get to the inside of Chad here. Tough to make that inside work in 3 and 4.
I think Josh could have maybe drove up there a little further if he had the room, but it's just so hard.
Man, it's just so sketchy running side by side like that through 1 and 2. Hogan has to back out.
That was the break I think Josh needed, because I think Josh is just with the newer tires is going to be able to just out-corner these guys. Yeah, Josh is just so much better than these guys on these newer tires.
And Barbieri's just catching the.
Oh, Rucker's in the wall. Oh, and he's into Vincent. That was insane.
And Rucker's also in this playoff hunt, Zach. It could be big. That thing's got a lot of damage. He hit it pretty good. And then he got some on the left side when he made contact with the 12 car of Isabella.
And he's going to be offline again here.
And now he's falling back into the clutches of all these cars that pit. Got tires.
Well, actually, I think he's already been passed by all those guys that pitted. Oh, he's going to be in the wall again. This is not ideal for Rucker.
Gerald's going to cut him a break right there going into 1. Thought he was going to take the look.
All this going on, we're about to have a new leader. Josh Adams got through there, got the second, and I think it's just a matter of time with those fresher tires. I'll tell you this, if it stays green for at least another 30, 40 laps, Josh is going to look like a genius.
See how much better he is than our leader, or was leader, Dave Tooker.
Yeah, and he restarted 19th on this restart. So it's not like he restarted close to the front. So it took him about 15 laps or so, a little bit less than 15 laps to go from 19th to the lead.
A big moment on the backstretch. Chad Frankenfield had to get out of the gas, and Hogan ran in the back of him.
We saw Chad putting pressure on early in the race, so Chad must have really used up his tires.
Yeah, he's under a lot of heat from Jay Canner. Isabella's right there. We saw him have some contact with Rucker. Those two guys also in the playoffs.
Jay trying to pull underneath there. Vincent's trying to get to his top. Couldn't
3 of
quite
these
pull that
guys
hole.
behind Chad are in the playoffs. All lined up.
Garrison's looking underneath Vince. Gonna try to go down in here too wide. I think Vince is one of the guys that pitted. I think Jesse Radzimus also is pitted. I'm not sure if Westergreen pitted.
I don't know if
He did.
a 9
Lap
car
12.
did as well.
Okay, so Westergreen did pit as well. So
9
that's
car
what
did
we're
not.
seeing. So Vince is trying to get through these guys. They're not getting, like, Josh went through there and he basically told him, I'm coming through. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm going to be aggressive. Some of these guys have been a little bit more patient. Like we're looking at the 12, and he did get clipped a little bit when Rucker had his couple laps in a row there that just were not very ideal.
Hogan's going to try and follow Isabella. Couldn't quite get there, though.
That's the second or third time I've seen Garrison try to make a pass down the one. I just don't think that's the ideal spot to want to try to pass. I think if you pass down there, you want to get in front of him. Oh, we're wrecking on the back. Gerald Campbell, Trey Holmes, the 94. We got a caution. It's a big wreck here on the back. Oh, I don't know if Gerald had to lift or what, but Joey got into the back of him. Joey got hit. The 94 gets a big piece of it there. The 88's going to spin left here pretty late. Oh, okay, so Trey Holmes in the 88.
Oh,
We're
wow.
seeing, yeah.
See, Brent Jones barely squeaked through there. Yeah, and, I think this caution is not what these guys that pitted wanted to see. I think it's a little too soon.
Oh, it's a lot too soon.
These guys just know where to go. Just happened so quick there off of 2.
I almost would stay out if I'm Josh Adams. Like I would take my medicine now. It looks like he's going to pit though.
Yeah, it's a tough call because he's gonna have 1 set left going into the last 70 laps of this race.
Looks like he's going to take 4 here. We did have some stay out, though. Josh Adams will win the race. What Josh Adams is hoping for here is it runs green to the end. If they run green to the end of the race from here, he's going to be fine. But if we run 20 laps and get a caution, those other guys might pit again.
I mean, it paid off. It got him to the lead, but you see, Barbieri didn't want to come down and get his second set. He opted to stay out. Rasmus the same way. Westergreen the same way. So these guys are gonna fall like rocks. But I mean, I don't think I think that's the right call. I don't think you can come down and get your second set of tires only 40 laps into this race.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it was man. He would have looked really smart had it stayed green. Even another 20 laps. If you get to like 50 to go, then you can justify it. But like but at the same time, it's so hard to take your medicine there because that was 20, 25 laps. So it's hard to sit there and say we're going to stay out. But those guys in front of him did. Now he's in a spot where if we run here and we run to 50 to go, well, he's going to have to stay out. I think.
Yeah, it's just such a tough call because I mean, you've been in races with me, here at Darlington, where sometimes we go green 60, 70 laps, and other times it's just caution after caution after caution. So you just don't know how these races are going to play out.
I'll tell you this, and you talk about me running here with you and knowing what to think, and I help you strategize on Wednesday nights for the Cup race, and when I raced myself, I would have never came down on lap 10 and took 4 tires if I was driving. I try to make each set of tires last, especially at the start of these races.
Oh yeah, if you were driving, you wouldn't get your first set till lap 70.
One thing I will point out that we will see shortly, I shouldn't say we'll see it shortly. I don't know if it's going to get implemented in Elite starting next week or not. But iRacing is putting out the restart box and the restart zones, and that's going to soft launch. I don't know if it's going to be a part of officials this next season, but I do know that it's going to be released, and you're going to be able to do it with hosted and leagues and whatnot. So I hope we use it in Elite. If I had my vote, I would say we use it. It would make these starts a lot better. I think we won't see them take off like within a 300-yard radius or area there, like we're going to see here.
This is going to be interesting, though. I mean, these guys are going to be rolling roadblocks, rolling chicanes, and guys on fresh tires. It's going to be quite a mix-up here.
Leader's gone. Good start. Good start for everybody at the front. Josh Adams is going to get right through, right down to the bottom. Going to try to be the first guy through.
At 70, got a little bit of the fence right there.
Yes, he did. Tyler Fody trying to run right there and pass Josh. Josh now going after the lead.
See how much those tires mean right here.
Oh, I think we know these tires are going to mean a ton.
But I do think that the tire limits are one of the best things iRacing's ever implemented, because 4 tire limits, everybody would have gotten off pit road right there. Now you kind of got to think about it. Is it worth it? Do I really want to come down pit road now?
Oh yeah, tire limits, and like I said before we went green, the restart zone is coming. So I'm excited about that. I don't know how much you've looked into it or how excited you are about it, but I think that's going to be That's going to be great when we get that here on the sim.
Ooh, 70 in the wall hard again.
Yeah, Jeff Green, Matthew Weeks, and Tate Lytle all had to check up for that.
Yeah, Lytle got on the back of Weeks a little bit right there. But yeah, being behind somebody on older tires here is just so frustrating because you have to give up the whole corner. Like, you can't make the pass. So it just kills your... Oh, I thought Tate was going to get hooked by the 70 right there. They about came together. I thought Netcode was going to get him, because I don't know how it didn't, because that was super close.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, and now you got... This is what you hate as the driver. Like, if we were out here racing, you've got the 46 falling back in the bottom and the 70 falling back on the top. Like, you would prefer them be in the same lane. So back to what we were saying before everybody started hitting the wall there, Nick. Are you looking forward to this restart zone that we're getting?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how it's implemented. I don't know quite how it's going to be coded, how it's going to work. Because I feel like restarts are kind of.
I did some reading up on it, and it said that the sim's going to be able to register who launches first. And as long as that leader launches first, you can still beat them to the line. But what it's really going to do is it's going to give you... The leader is still going to have an advantage, but he's got to go in the restart zone just like you see in real life. You got about a 5 car length area where you have to go in those 5 car lengths. And the sim also said, they said they were able to code it where if you launch before that restart zone, you will get a black flag.
No, I think it'll definitely be a good thing, especially restarting second, because now you kind of got an idea where you can anticipate when the leader's going to go, because now, like you said, instead of a 500-foot area where they could go, it's narrowed down to, 100 feet.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that implemented. It should make everything better. Because we go to some places where you got... Like, we go to Talladega. How much room we got at Talladega? Yeah, the new Phoenix, exactly. At Phoenix, you've got 3/4 of a lap that the leader could go. But yeah, my vote's for that to get implemented as quick as they can do it. I don't know if they'll do it for the rest of the speed season since we've only got a handful of races left, but I say that too for this A season. I don't know if it'll get implemented for this A season. But speaking as someone who's a broadcaster and I will be a driver in B season, I really hope that is implemented for the next Elite season.
So do you know if in Real Cup racing, do they implement that based on the eyes of somebody watching it, or is it based off of data they take off for? Sim, I didn't know it would be on data.
They look at data and they have people down there looking as well in that zone.
But you won't be able to hide it.
Oh, we got a wreck back here on the backstretch. Joey in the 81 once again. Man, that's 3 strikes, right? Oh, that wasn't his fault. Oh.
Looks like the 08 of Mark Keeler got in the wall, bounced off the wall, came down and hooked Joey in the right rear.
You know who didn't want to see this at all?
I don't think anybody wanted to see it.
Well, I definitely know Josh Adams didn't want to see it because there's no way he can come down right now.
I mean, the good news is for Josh, that came out really quick, so I don't think the guys, Tyler Fody and these guys with one more set of tires are going to come down and use them either.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We're in a fuel window now. They could pit and make it on fuel. Chad Frankenfield's coming down. Chad saw what Josh did. Chad's coming.
Not a lot of takers, though.
I like this for Chad. I like this call. I like this call for Chad as much as I didn't like it for Josh. Chad's out of the playoffs. He's racing to win. come on down. You're in your window to make it. If it runs green, you're going to be the only car that's been competitive up here at the front that pitted right there. Nothing against everybody else who just pitted, but just speaking to what we've seen so far. If it runs green from here, Chad Frankfield's going to win this race.
Mark Keeler's claiming that Chapman got into him first. But
Unless there's some really bad net code. Looks like there's at least a couple.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like Chapman's anywhere near him. Got up close to him. Pretty wide net code.
Yeah, I definitely think that was all the car on the outside there. Well, while we're sitting here under this caution, we'd like to thank you once again for tuning in to the Elite Racing Network. We are in race 1 of round 2 for the playoffs. The Darlington 150. We're working about halfway through this thing, and Josh Adams out front right now, but he's down a set of tires to everybody else behind him. Want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Couldn't do it without everybody at Elite Racing Network. Chad Frankenfield, all he does for Elite. We got Dave with us tonight, one of our 2 great producers that we have used in this series. Ryan Gavel could not make it tonight. Dave was always at the ready to step up. Couldn't do it without him. Thank Nick Massey as well for joining me. This is the Mrs. Goodies Grand National Series. I want to give a shout out to everybody at Mrs. Goodies. C2 Freight. It is a freight management service, and they are ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs of the future. Everybody at Blue Egg Marketing, the marketing department for small business. Everybody at Powerhouse Recycling. And JD's Hilltop Salvage. I believe, is Dustin Dewar out here tonight? I believe I've seen his 32 car out here running around. Dustin Dewar is running 12th. I believe he's part of the Hilltop Salvage that we got going on there. So give a shout out to them for coming on board as a sponsor. Having a solid run tonight in 12th place right now. Jeff Green with C2 Freight. Having a solid night right there at about 9th place. You know who's not having a solid night tonight, right, Nick?
Who's that?
Joey Chapman, man. It's been a rough night for him.
He has exited.
Yes, it has. Been a rough couple of weeks for him, I think. I think he's got involved in a wreck last week and the week before.
Well, he's already wrecked 3 times tonight. Josh Adams in the lead takes off. Great restart for Josh Adams. Tyler Fody going to try to come through in second. Garrison Hogan, Vincent Isabella, the top 4 get single file going into 1.
And we got playoff drivers running 1 through 5 right now.
Chad Frankenfield, the first car off pit road, 13th that time.
Actually, 1 through 6. Jay Cantor's up there too. Sorry, Jay. Cody's got a little look. I don't know if it's going to be enough to clear him. Tough to make it work.
He's going to try. He's going to do it. Fody is through. Garrison is through. Josh just trying to give it up there. Chooker's going to come around Vincent Isabella as well. Chad Frankenfield now on fresh tires, trying to come through him like we saw Josh Adams come through him earlier. I had to guess, Chad will probably be the leader in the next 3 or 4 laps, or 5 laps at the most. The new tires just mean the world here, and I think we're about to see it. Passing, I mean, Chad's basically passing 2 cars each lap. He's passing 1 car in 3 and 4, getting to another one, passing them down on 1 and 2. Struggling a little bit here with Tate. Is Tate just going to give it up? Tate's going to try to race him down into 1. Oh, they're going to make contact. Great save by Tate.
Yeah, surprised he kept it off the wall right there. Usually the outside car on the outside, once they get hit, doesn't keep that thing off the fence.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why Tate tried to drive down in there side by side. Oh, he's in the wall now. Well, you know that 15 car on new tires, so not sure why he tried to hang on his outside there, but
spoke too soon. Said giving Tate praise for keeping it off the wall, then he goes down in turn 3 and puts it in the fence.
Yeah, he got his money's worth that time. I'm surprised that Chad has not gotten to the lead just yet. Yeah, makes me think he might really be trying to take care of his tires. Like, he might be making a big effort here to save his tires.
I don't think the tire advantage this time for Chad is as big as it was for Josh the first time.
It should. I mean, it's what, about 10 laps? Yeah, his tire advantage should be about 10 laps, so he should be able to carve through these guys if he wanted to. I think he's just being that easy on his tires, which is smart. It's very smart.
Yeah,
he actually came in 14 laps back.
That first run, we did see Chad contending for the lead, then he kind of fell off hard, so maybe he learned, thought he pushed a little too hard that first round.
And here he comes on new tires. That's what I thought Tate would do a few laps ago, what Josh just did. Oh, Tate Lytle's around down here in 1 and 2. He might save it. Wow. Wow, it's the dirt track at Darlington. What a save. Oh, my goodness. Save of the year. Gerald Campbell's wrecking behind him. Caution's going to be out. That save that Tate Lytle just made. Holy shit.
He had contact with Matthew Weeks going in turn 1 and kind of just drifted all the way around there.
That is incredible.
Wreck behind these guys here?
Yeah, Gerald Campbell got involved in whatever the wreck was there.
Well, the 42, Michael Hosak gets the wall. No, Gerald just spun around.
A pretty big net code there, too.
The leaders decided to come down pit road that time.
Did Josh Adams choose to come down pit road?
He did not.
Yeah, I think that's a... Man, he might have should have taken his medicine earlier, but... Going to be very intense out here, boys. We're going to have a lot of different... We've got 3 different tire strategies going on. We got Chad Frankenfield, and we've got Barbieri and Wester Green and these guys that pitted the last caution before this. You've got Josh Adams and Vincent Isabella who pitted 2 cautions ago, and now you've got everybody else pitting right now. But this will level everybody up. Everybody from here on out's got 1 set left. The question is, when do you take them?
And I mentioned earlier how tire limits were one of the best things that iRacing has added to the service in recent years, but the one thing that I've seen it do is you get all these guys in different tire strategies, and this is where it can kind of breed caution sometimes. You got guys coming forward, you got guys falling back hard, and it never gets, everybody doesn't get back on the same strategy, so this is where you kind of get caution after caution after caution. Hopefully not jinxing this race, but just giving my 2 thoughts here.
In iRacing, once you change out the tires, they're done, right? You can't put back on a set that only has 12 laps on it.
That would be nice. That's something I would like to see them add. But as of this point, no. Once the set comes off the car, that's it. You don't see them again.
Redded and gone.
Goodyear takes them back to R&D.
Headed for a playground near you.
Well, Chris, what strategy do you like here? Whose shoes would you rather be in? The guys who just pitted, or would you rather be up front like Chad, Josh Adams, Isabella?
I'd rather be on the tires.
On the attack?
Where Fody is, that's where I want to be.
Say we got big Pro Edge fan. Some say even part owner Ethan Burrell in the chat here. Pulling hard for Josh Adams up there, I'm sure. He's got cars on all different strategies, so I think they got a pretty good shot. And usually they have about 10 cars in the field.
Chad is going. Oh, big wheel spin out of Josh Adams there. That's really going to stack they're 3 wide. Oh, contact 3 wide. Wow.
Yeah, I think Chad went way earlier than Josh was expecting, and Josh tried to get back to the gas. Quit pretty quick, spun the tires, and it cost him about 5 spots. But yeah, Chad definitely caught these guys sleeping a little bit here.
Oh, for sure. Which is what you want as the leader. You want to catch those guys sleeping.
And that's one thing we might not be able to see after next year, whenever we get restart zones implemented here in Elite. That might not ever happen that much anymore. Gotta get it while you can.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those restart zones, but we'll see what happens the rest of this race. And what really hurt there is that, Josh was going to fall back, but that kind of expedited things.
He's already back there where the tires are, trying to hold on.
Taking a look here at David Tooker. Currently running in 4th place. Oh, Zach Evans got up in the wall there in 1 and 2. Ooh, Vincent's really high. He's going to get in the wall. Zach Evans is in the wall again.
Vincent got tagged in the 3.
Vincent is going to save it. Oh, he's going to spin it. Josh Adams, great maneuver to miss it. Big wreck back here.
Zach Evans in it. Michael Hosack in it. I'm sorry, it was Michael Goodwin. Other Michael.
Looked like a whole lot of netcode with Vince when it started.
Jeff Green and Tate Lytle to the inside. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's almost half a car.
Josh Adams does a great job missing it here. And then when he starts spinning the 6, the 42, the 44 does a good job. Trevor Elam, he came in there pretty hard.
See Zach Evans slowing up a little bit. And just kind of nowhere to go. Gets tagged in the right rear.
That's where Trevor comes in and gets all his damage. Chad Frankenfield, these guys right here are putting on their last set of tires.
And I am pretty shocked. No, oh yeah, he did stay out last time, so it would be his last set.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, is it worth it now? Personally, I think it's a little too early. I mean, we still got, we got 45
There
to
is
go.
no way with these cautions right now that I'm going to come down and get my last set at 40 to go. 38 to go right now, exactly 38 to go. There's no way.
But, I mean, like you said, it goes green. Chad's going like a genius. But right now, I mean, we've had no indication that we're going to get a green flag run here.
That's going to give the lead to Garrison, followed by Tooker, followed by Bodie, Jake Knorr, Jeff Green up to P5 in the C2 freight machine. As we sit, we have 27 cars on the lead lap. Joey Chapman's 23 down. Kendall Noah Players 28 down. Trey Holmes is 36 down. We're setting up to see an exciting finish here, Nick, with these different strategies because we know Chad just bolted on his last set. So we know he's not going to come back.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely risky, but and we talked about it earlier, Chad's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, but he was the leader too still. Like, I know tires would have restarted second, but like, man, I don't know if I could have. I wouldn't have made the decision to put my last set on right here. Vincent Isabella coming off pit road just in front of these guys. I do not think Vincent got tires. I believe that's all just fixing damage. I think Vincent's saving a set. Yeah, he did not take tires right here. It's all damage fix. I think the 46 put on his last set of tires. Chad Frankenfield put on his last set. That's 16th, 17th, right in that area somewhere. You know, and another interesting thing about Chad putting on his tires right there, That
But-
was only about 5 green flag laps. So it's not like he's going to have a huge advantage this time. It's going to be less than what it was before. Pace car is off. Garrison's got control. Bringing him on around the corner. He's gone. Good jump there for Garrison. Almost caught him, Harrison.
And you saw the stack up on the inside line right there on that restart. You see them all kind of just accordion all the way back.
They come off of turn 2. Oh, Trevor Elam, Ryan Barbieri get together. Ryan's one of the guys that just got tires. Oh, and Ryan comes back up and slams the guy. Oh, I don't think they had that bad of damage until Ryan just came back up the track. Wow.
Tough to say if, that was intentional or just the worn tires trying to get back to the gas.
Ryan just pitted and got new tires. That's fresh tires.
I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the whole corner there through 1 and 2 because I don't know what transpired.
Yeah, I'm just not sure about what happened there.
46 was there. Maybe 29 comes down a little bit. They get together off of 2.
Well, Ryan's left the service or the session. I don't know. That's one of them deals that I thought they were going to be fine, and then he just took the right.
They are giving him the tally.
He's gone, so it doesn't matter. He left the session.
And I mean, that happened right in front of Chad Frankenfield, too. I mean, those are the 2 cars right in front of him, and he barely squeaked by. So, I mean, that's another risk of putting yourself back there, too.
We are getting word that the 89 is getting an EOL for a lane change. Not sure I agree with that call looking back at it here on that last restart. I mean, he starts to move left, but
Yeah, that one's a tough call. I mean, he might have started moving to the right, but I think that's kind of the ball and strike call of NASCAR, in my opinion. That and the restart violations.
yeah, I agree. I feel like there was still plenty of room for a car. So I have just got word that the new restart procedure will not be used in Elite for the rest of this season, but it will be implemented in B season. That's official at this point.
interesting thing is we get the new damage model. I believe comes out tomorrow, so we're gonna have to use that Wednesday night Cup Series at Auto Club.
Yeah, you can't turn the new damage model off. It's gonna. Remember the last time they tried to launch that new damage model, Nick?
Oh yeah, I think we were at Michigan, right? And
Yeah, it was pretty
I had my
broken.
rear bumper cover flapping in the wind.
Hopefully
Great
it
shoot.
works this time.
Yeah, we'll see it. You know, if they make the cars as brittle as they are in real life, it's be interesting for sure.
All right, here we go. Garrison once again in control on the bottom. And he is gone. Great. Restart again. David took us and take off a little closer, but I think he's clear down into 1. Garrison and Tooker gets cleared through. Side by side at P3. Oh, Rucker gets hit from the 51. Everybody checks up. Chad's going to shoot through there on his newer tires.
Yeah, Chad's been lucky so far. He's had 2 incidents happen right in front of him and was able to slide by them both. Rucker in the wall again.
No, that's the 32. That's Dustin Dewar.
Oh, it looks like the same paint from the rear. Some of these guys got their handfuls right now.
A lot of these guys have their hands full of something right now.
Jeff Green and the C2 Freight Machine trying to crack the top 5. Gonna lose 6th spot here. Weeks it looks like though. Weeks another one of those playoff drivers having a solid night.
Yeah, and that car's been pretty used up on the right side as well. Like, he's been in a lot of deals tonight.
Yeah. 5 of the top 6 right now are playoff contenders. The only one that's not is that 2 car in Tate Lytle.
Garrison's sitting well out in front at this point. Looks like everybody's running really close to that wall now, Nick. Nobody's giving it a bunch of extra room. Is it go time? 25 to go, whatever it's sitting at right now. 20, yeah, right at 25 to go.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely go time. Chad Brankenfield making the pass on Jeff Green back here for 7th, marching forward on those fresh tires. Got a long way to go though to get to our leaders, about 3 seconds back.
Yeah, at this point, Chad's hoping it stays green, because if they get another caution now, that's what kill Chad's strategy. Because they went far enough now, I think everybody would come get their last set, and they would annihilate Chad at this point.
I think you had a good point, too, that his tires weren't that much newer than everybody. Lap times are not.
Yeah, I just think that wasn't a great call by Chad at that point in the race. But we'll see. It might work out if it runs green. I still think his tire, 5-lap newer tires, if it runs green to the end, might have a shot there towards the end. Oh, Gerald Campbell is sideways down into 3. He's going to save it. What a save there by Gerald. Gerald's missing parts and pieces there, but he's still digging. Man, back around Rucker right now, the racing is just insane. I know Chad's moving through the field, but back in here, they are driving 110% on kill.
Yeah, a lot of these, guys like Josh Adams out here hasn't taken his last set yet. Some of these guys have. Rucker in the wall a little bit right there, and then not too far behind them is Gerald Campbell with no front end at all.
Yeah, and we saw Gerald get sideways just a little bit ago. We saw Rucker get sideways on this run too, right there, not long after the green, maybe the first lap after the green. Look at this, you got Westergreen pulling on the outside of Rucker. They're both trying to get around Hill. Drive down into one, no give, it's all take. Rucker gets way sideways there.
The 86, I thought the 86 was going to try to go to the outside there.
Oh, Campbell. Oh, that's going to be a caution, and that's probably Gerald Campbell's night.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. Head on. Yeah, that motor's done. Looked like the 86 had to get out of gas a little bit, and then Gerald just got loose coming off a 2 underneath him, and that was it.
That's not the yellow that Chad Frankenfield wanted to see. That's the yellow the rest of the field wanted to see, though.
Yeah, I would expect these guys to come down and take their last set for sure if they have one.
Oh, yeah, I think everybody's coming here. Rucker, they're having to check up. Passing guys, they're coming on the pit road.
There are some guys staying out. I think they've used all their sets, and that's all they can do right now. You got top 3 staying out: Chad Frankenfield, Michael Hosack, Brent Jones.
I think Chad thought more guys were out of tires because he's just now making reference to that. He thought more people had already used their last set.
That sounded like a man with entirely new information.
Exactly. Yeah, that sounded like somebody who was thinking he was going to have an 8 or 10 car buffer, and then he's like, "Well, there's only 2 other guys out here." He knows his shot to win this race is over now. If he didn't before the yellow.
Hey, you never know. Could get a couple string of yellows here, and Chad might be able to maintain the lead.
If they run through 1 and 2 one time, Chad's going to lose.
Hey, I'm trying here. I'm trying to give Chad hope.
Listen, Kyle Busch had a great line one time. He's not optimistic. He's realistic, and we got to be realistic. If Chad's got the lead going into 1 on this restart, that's about all he can ask for.
He's only going to have to stay in first for about 20 miles here.
You say that like it's easy. Let me tell you about Darlington, Nick. You want them tires.
Yeah, but you know what, though? How many races have we seen won by guys who just stay out at the right time? And just get
I don't know how many we've seen, but there's too many laps left, and it won't happen.
Chris coming to 15 to go. We're gonna restart here. I think coming to 14 to go. But we never made any picks this race. So who you guys got?
Not Chad.
I kind of thought early on I was going to take Weeks, so I won't change my mind now since he's farther back. He's 8th. I'll stick with him.
I'll take Fody. I've been picking Fody every week. I'll pick Fody again. I think he's obviously in a good position here. Chad did do one thing here that I like, taking the bottom, not putting tires right behind him. He's gonna put Garrison up there behind old tires that probably won't launch as well as what Chad is going to launch. So I think Chad has put himself in the best spot he could outside of going back and not pitting there that last time he pitted. One thing that's going to be interesting here as well is Josh Adams got off sequence early, and he's fast. He was fast. We talked about him the first run, driving up into the top 10. I am curious to see if he can drive back to the top 10 and try to salvage after having to stay out earlier. But pace car is off. Chad is gone. Great start for Chad.
I'll pick it Tooker, by the way. If I were betting man, I think we're going to see some aggressive moves here. Trying to get by these guys on older tires.
You think we're going to see some aggressive
quick
moves?
As they can. Oh, took her in the wall. Hung on to it, though.
Brent Jones rolls out of it down the back.
Oh, Michael Hosack in the wall in 3.
Oh, Jeff Green, the 51. Oh, Josh Adams, big wreck down here in 3 and 4. That all started up there with Jeff Green. Well, I don't know if Jeff Green caused it, but it started at Jeff Green. Oh, Jeff did just come up into the 51, 70. Oh, man.
Came up a little bit. Caught Crump in it. Harrison Talon gets a piece.
One of our playoff drivers right there, though. The good thing is, though, the cars behind him are pretty hurt, too. Like, it's not like there's a lot of cars behind Josh Adams that are clean. Well, that wreck was pretty big there. Taking a look at Robert Hill Jr. come down, and doesn't look like there's a whole lot of rear downforce on that car.
Probably not handling the best. I think you kind of need that spoiler. I told you, Chris, all Chad's got to do is survive, like, what, 5 more restarts? Easy.
Yeah, well, now fresh tires are starting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Them guys that were out there as a buffer, they gone. I think Chad did the right thing by picking the top last time, or the bottom last time. I think this time you got to take the top and try to force them to have to pass you now. Going to get the launch beside you either way. So I think if I'm Chad, I take the top this time. I just want to talk about Tate Lytle for a minute, too. We haven't really talked about him much since he turned Darlington 1 and 2 into a dirt track earlier. He's sitting here in 3rd place with a shot to win this thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out either.
At this point, I wouldn't count anybody out, Nick. Looking at this field, though, nobody looks clean. The cleanest car might be Tyler Fody. think we should get 1 to go this time. We're going to go green, then that would make it, what, 9 to go? Nick, have we seen our last yellow?
I don't think so. I think we're going to use at least 1 green, white checkered. That's my guess.
Listen, we've still got 9 laps in regulation. Let's not get the green, white checkers yet.
I'm just saying that's what it's going to come down to, I think.
I'll tell you this. If we run green from here to 2 to go and somebody has managed to save a set of tires for a green, white checkered, they might look pretty smart.
See Chad taking the top here.
I agree with that move. I think I even said that earlier. You know, he took the bottom last time to work against the tires. Now you got to take the top and force him to pass you. I think this is a good move. Get a good restart.
I think he took the top that one time. He got a good jump on Josh Adams. We'll see if he goes early again like he did that other time. And
He's about to
gonna be
have
able to bring
control.
Fody.
He's already gone. Gone already.
And he might bring Fody with him here. Fody's going to hang on my right rear, Garrison Hogan.
Looks like Jesse Razimus is pretty hurt. He pulled down out of line there and just gave it up.
Oh, Fody tried to squeeze down in front of Tate. That was really tight. Oh, man, that was so... I don't know how they're not making contact.
They did.
Oh, they
There
are
it
now. Garrison Hogan is.
I don't know how either.
No caution. No caution. He's
Wow,
off the
no
track.
yellow for that, huh?
He's off the track.
I'm surprised that didn't trigger an iRacing yellow. Maybe an instant announcer's jinx right there. Sorry, Garrison. Yeah, they were really tight in 3 and 4. I thought Fody was going to put Hogan in the fence, even with netcode. But that opened the door for Tate. Tate's going to take a shot at the lead here. Oh, and he's going to sail it down in there. 3 wide.
Oh wow, there's no way.
Nope, this is going bad. Oh man.
Here comes Tucker.
Oh my goodness, Fody through to the lead.
I don't know how that made that
Chad is
work.
hanging on with his older tires. Chad is trying to hang on.
I don't know how they made that work.
Very carefully.
Let's see if Tucker has anything for Fody here. Coming to 5 to go. Yeah, all these guys getting together. I mean, Tucker was able to drive from 5th, pass them all, and now he's running 2nd with a shot at this win.
Oh man, good drive off there for Tucker.
Fody got through 1 and 2 a little bit better.
Matthew Weeks is looking under Chad Frankenfield down into 1. Couldn't quite do it. Chad's really driving hard on these old tires. I know we got this front 3 going on, but Chad is falling back behind these guys. Well, trying not to fall back, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep him behind him. Man, I don't think Chad is going to give this to Weeks, and I don't think Weeks is going to give this to Chad. Oh, Chad rolls out.
Okay,
Wow.
I think he's a playoff driver too. Him and Weeks, that could have been big.
Oh, he's going to try to block. I would not block Rucker. That is not somebody I would block.
He took her looking to the inside of Fody here. I don't think he's going to get the run off. Nope, not quite. Coming to 2 to go. Are we going to see a bump and run here, Chris? I mean, this is the shot at the championship race. Automatic lock. But this is the top two in the standings.
I think if you're Tooker, you probably don't. I probably wouldn't, because I know second place is going to probably get me into the next round. It's going to be a great start to the round. I would not want to give Fody a reason to come back and hit me. Maybe put something in my back pocket there and make Fody think about it if he's second to you somewhere down the line.
No, Tooker got a little loose through 1 and 2. I don't think he's going to have a shot in 3.
Looks like Tyler Fody is going to come through. Tyler Fody gets the win.
Weeks P4.
Yeah, Tooker second. Lytle, Weeks, Frankenfield holds on to 5th. Rucker, Knorr, Josh Adams, Vincent, and Dustin Dewar are the top 10.
That incident with Fody and Hogan, we'll have to take a look back at it, maybe coming out of 4, but that's going to be big championship implications because, Hogan was the 3rd driver in points, and that's most likely going to point him out of it right now.
Yeah, and they did rule that he hit the wall and came down into Fody.
Yeah, it was pretty tight out of 3 and 4. One did get the fence. I think it's just hard racing, especially here at Darlington. Not a lot of room for error and contact. But that'll be interesting going forward. The next 2 races. Hogan's been fast all year. He's got multiple wins. I think he can easily go out there and get it done. But he's gonna have some work to do.
Yeah, and Fody, the guy that came in here as the points leader, so you kind of felt good about him. So if you were down there around that cut line, Fody winning as a playoff driver doesn't affect you as much as if like a Josh Adams were to win, or a Jay Knorr who's going to be right there at that cut line. Like those guys at the very front, at the very top of the points winning doesn't really change the race at the cut line. Great race, though. What a race. What a finish.
Yeah, 3 wide, bouncing off each other. Didn't have to go to green-white checkers. I was kind of surprised.
You were disappointed, weren't you?
No, I'd rather have it finished like that for sure, 100%.
I can't believe that they didn't wreck. I mean, 3 wide at Darlington, you're supposed to wreck. I don't know.
Well, 3rd place first?
Sounds good to me. Well, we're joined by our 3rd place finisher. Tate Lytle turned 1 and 2 into a dirt track there at one point in this race. Take us through your night, Tate, and everything that led to you ultimately getting a top 3 in the Darlington 150 tonight.
I didn't get any practice, so I was actually shocked with the lap time I was able to pull down in qualifying, and I think I might have just got a little overconfident there. I cooked it into 3 on lap 2 and fenced it and got some damage. Had to fix it, got back up there, and honestly, that race fell right in my lap when Fody and Garrison got together, and I went to diving into 1 on Chad, and when it hit the apron, it just went right, so kind of bummed because I had done that move a couple times earlier in the race, and it felt like it reacted a little bit different. I probably charged that one a little harder than the others, but yeah, if you would have told me 20 to go, I'd get 3rd, I'd be like, sweet. But the way that thing kind of fell in my lap, it's pretty disappointing to end up 3rd because there's no reason why we shouldn't have won that race with 6 or 7 to go. And then I was 3 wide top and had to lift or we were all gonna wreck, and I don't know how we all didn't wreck anyway, but saved us there. And I was really hoping Tooker was going to try and use the chrome horn there. He got loose getting into 1 that last lap, though. But still, it's always it's a good thing when you're pissed off with P3. So got to thank Harpoon Designs for the cool car. Days Gone By, Vintage Racing Apparel, Brent Wentz. He always hooks us up, and go check his Etsy page out. He's got it linked in his Twitter. Days Gone By Vintage Racing Apparel. So check that out. And yeah, I don't know. Kind of a bummer there to lose it the way we did. But Bodie drove a pretty good race other than getting into Garrison there. But yeah, a lot of respect for Fody, but man, I hate losing to him.
Yeah, man. I mean, not in the playoffs anymore, so just kind of going for wins at this point. But kind of a wild race. We saw, tire strategy. 3 sets of tires coming into this thing and cautions everywhere. So it's all about when you take those sets of tires. Do you have like laps in mind and when you want to take the sets, or you kind of just go off of what everybody else is doing?
It kind of equaled out to 27 laps a set, so I was just trying to at least get to that number before I pitted, just so I could be on the right side of the half. But yeah, I think this is only like my 5th race the whole season, so yeah, I probably won't be at Milwaukee next week just because the track sucks, and I was here tonight because Darlington rocks. So should be out at the golf course practicing right now, but couldn't turn down a race at Darlington.
Well, you guys for sure did put on a show. You talked about the 3 wide and some of the crazy stuff that happened there in the last 5 laps. That was great to watch and great to see. And I'm telling you, like you said, you're supposed to wreck 3 wide at Darlington. You're not even supposed to be 3 wide at Darlington, and somehow you guys made it stick and work. So that was a great show you guys put on for us tonight.
Well, there was no way we were getting off turn 2 though, so I'm glad I lifted when I did because it was not going to end well.
And one thing I want to talk about that you didn't talk about is your slide down there in 1 and 2. That was an incredible piece of driving down there.
Well, I mean, I probably could have made it look a little simpler, but I was like, you know what, I'm already sideways. Might as well put some gas in it and at least put some smoke down for the broadcast. So it was I don't know. The car was it was not as difficult as it looked. I'll just say that it was not as cool as it might have seemed.
Well, it looked pretty cool, but congratulations on your top 3 there tonight, and I think you should come back to Milwaukee a go. You're pretty good at these places where you have to finesse the car, and I'm thinking next week's going to be a lot of finesse trying to get through the middle of those corners. So I think you should come back next week and maybe try to talk to us again.
I don't see it happening, but maybe.
All right, thanks for talking to us tonight, Dave. All right, now we're joined by our 2nd place finisher, David Tooker. Going to get through to the next round with a run like that, I think, as long as you don't have any bad races moving on. So take us through your night, everything that led to you ultimately finishing 2nd, and would you have been willing to hit Tyler Fody, or were you going to keep that in your pocket just in case, he has to run 2nd to you somewhere down the line?
We ran a great race, what felt like the entire race. Got out front early, led some laps. I definitely felt like we were a top 3 car. It was just a matter of who got out front and when. I was trying to just play the patient game when they were 3 wide through 1 and 2. I thought for sure we were all going to end up crashing right off of 2, but luckily we were all talented enough to keep it together. And I had a shot to get to Fody a couple times. I probably should have moved him. I could have moved him, but you just never know what's going to be the situation next week. As much as I wanted to move him there, I didn't want to risk taking us both out or having it end poorly for either one of us. There's a lot of respect, at least between me and Fody, as far as drivers. Obviously you move somebody and it's one thing, but wrecking a guy, that's not what you want to do. So, and that's just not the way I drive. So, but I think we can be okay with 2nd here. This was probably going to be the toughest race in the round for me. But I think we're content with 2nd here.
Yeah, Tucker, you were my pick there. About 20 to go. I was like, Tucker's going to have a shot to win this thing. And it almost kind of fell into your lap there. Those guys were bouncing off each other and stuff like that. Kind of just take us through the night, the tire strategies, the slew of cautions we had going on. Everybody seemed like they were on different strategies and just trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, there was quite a mixture of strategies. I think the goal for us was just to try to save 1 set for the last 20 laps, which we did. Once I saw Chad waste all his sets, I was like, well, he's pretty much out of the picture considering all the cautions we were having. I knew Adams came down a few times. I don't know when he took his last set, but I knew the goal was just try to save a set for the last restart or the last 20 laps, and like you said, it almost kind of fell into my lap there with the contact off of 2. It was a tough move. I probably could have made it going underneath Fody into 3 there, but I just wasn't sure if we were going to clear Chad in time before turn 3. I just didn't want to end up 3 wide and have one of us or have all of us crash out, So, yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was just trying to keep ourselves in the top 5, top 10, because once you can have all the speed in the world, but this track's so tough to pass. It's practically only 2 lanes, and even that, it's pretty tough to make a pass. So. Really, you just need a substantial difference in tires, which I felt like we had compared to the 15 who was just running up front with us there. But I think that's one that we can look back on and take notes. It's just you got to be more aggressive when it counts and try to make smarter moves, but also don't be afraid to get physical, because I really do feel like I could have won that race, but nothing I can do about it now, sadly.
Yeah, well, I want to give you a chance to shout out your sponsors and whatnot here too. So I'm going to go ahead and ask another question before you do that. When you're following Fody there inside of 5 to go, are you thinking, you know what? Second's great. We're second in the points coming in here. Fody was the points leader. Finishing second probably is going to help me get into the next round, and maybe, put one in the back pocket there. Maybe if you're racing each other at the championship race, Fody might not just drive down into the back of you, or were you not thinking about any of that right there? And are there any sponsorships you want to shout out? Any people you want to shout out for tonight?
I definitely consider the point situation. This is the point in time where wins count more than ever, and good finishes count more than ever, and I think we did that tonight with getting second. You always want to try to go for the win. That's what we do as race car drivers. We try to push as hard as we can to put ourselves in position to win, but you want to also try not to do it in a stupid manner. And I definitely felt like I had a chance at the win there. That was definitely on my mind. I didn't really consider the point situation until about after the checkered flag, about 5 feet after. I was like, oh, okay, well, we're sitting pretty good in points, so I guess it's not a bad day. But, as a race car driver, you always want to try to get the win, and unfortunately just came up a little short. But I think we can move on from this and take our momentum into Milwaukee. But like you said, just want to give shout outs to everybody at Pro Edge Racing. We had a lot of speed tonight. I think we bagged second, fourth, and eighth. So we got 3 cars in the top 10, which is solid run for all of us. I think the biggest thing moving forward is to just keep running consistent. You don't necessarily need to win with this playoff bracket and the way it's set up. It's just all coming down to consistent finishes like we got tonight. So. But also I want to thank everybody at Elite Racing for what they do. Chad Frankenfield, William Harrington, or Cody Harrington, Ethan Reasoner, everybody that helps do what we do up here to put on this event, or put on this showcase of events to really show our skills out in the virtual world. I also want to thank you guys for what you do up in the booth. I know you say it every week, Chris, you like being up here, but I kind of miss you on the racetrack, buddy. So hopefully you come back and we can run door to door again, but want to thank you guys for what you're doing up here in the booth for us. Really appreciate it.
Well, as you know, I'm coming back for B season in the Cup car, so you'll get to race me down there. But I'll still be broadcasting up here. I love watching these races, and tonight the show you guys put on there the last 5 laps, 3 wide at Darlington isn't supposed to happen, and definitely isn't supposed to work. So that was pretty incredible.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for the interview. I will talk to you guys hopefully Wednesday. Or on Monday. That's the plan.
All right, Tucker, come back and see us next week. All right, we're joined by our winner and the first of the Championship 4 drivers to lock himself in, Tyler Fody. Tyler, take us through your night, everything that led to you ultimately having a shot to win, and everything it took there in the last 5 or 6 laps to win the race.
Yeah, man, it was a pretty solid night. Started off pretty good and was just trying to see what I had. And then as the long runs got going there, I knew we had a pretty decent shot if we went green for a while. And then, of course, Garrison, always got to watch out for him. He's got speed wherever we go. Ended up rising to the top there. And I'd say he had the best car tonight, aside from Tate, who I think got damaged, which hurt him. But overall, I think we were the second fastest car all night if we just got the runs to work for us. And then later on, second half there was all about managing your tires, and people were running out and people were staying out, and then the restart games were happening, and you had to be in the right line, and people were backing up on old tires. So that was all crazy. And then the end of it there was insane. I mean, I had basically all the teammates there I was trying to race against, and fortunately, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I got to thank Chad for for taking the top there and giving me a shot on the last restart there. I knew if I could clear Tate and at least get side by side with Garrison or disrupt him a little bit, I'd have a shot at it. And I just was able to get out there and pinch him down and then get kind of a crossover down the backstretch, which set me up to be on his inside into 3 and 4. And man, it was super, super tight riding there on his door. And then I guess he hit the wall or something following Chad. I didn't even see it. I was just driving straight off the corner. And the next thing I know, I was looking at the inside. Never lifted though, stayed in it the whole way. I couldn't believe I came back up in 3rd after all of that. And then even still, it got crazier because Tate was passing Chad, and then I was going under them. I can't believe I didn't even know we were 3 wide until the exit, and I was loose leaning on Chad. I mean, it was just a classic Darlington finish. Not much more you could ask for there. And yeah, the last few laps just trying to hold off Tooker. So crazy night. A lot happened, but super happy to be locked into the Final 4.
Yeah, in the closing laps there, where you know, it's basically a lock to the championship race there between you and Tooker. Were you worried about him using the bumper if he was close enough?
Yeah, no, he going into 3 with 3 or 4 to go a few times, he was driving in deeper and deeper, and gaining on me, and I could see that. So I was just thinking I have to get a better exit out of 2, because that's where I was struggling a little bit. He was able to get a run down the back. And he had me on pins and needles, man. I mean, I was mirror driving. It was crazy. And I don't know if he slipped up or what, but I hit the best 1 and 2 I had all night on the last lap there, and had a big enough gap to get away from him. I still drove it in 2 car lengths deep just in case in the last corner there. But yeah, man, I mean, it's all up for grabs there. I think it was all fair, tight, hard racing, and it's Darlington. That's just the product you're going to get.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the lock to the next round. How you feel about your chances in Nashville? I don't know. You don't know who you're competing against yet, and then anybody else you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, well, I got to thank the Lake Norman guys, Vince and David. Vince getting a solid top 10 after everything. He was one of the guys that was running out of tires there at the end, so to capitalize on a top 10, give him some points. It'll be interesting to see where that all shakes out. And Westergreen as well, getting a solid run. So always shout out to them. As far as the championship 4, I think we got Nashville, which will be a fun track. But I mean, I'm not really thinking about who I'd be going up against. Everyone here has earned it, and whatever 3 it ends up being are going to be pretty strong opponent. But I respect all these guys, so it should be a fun time.
Now, are you already going ahead to Nashville? Are you thinking about that race already? Or are you still focused on the next race next week and maybe trying to influence who the other 3 guys are?
I mean, we'll start thinking about Nashville a little bit, but the next 2 weeks, obviously, I mean, we're just going to go out there and try and win that as well. Try and make some of these guys point their way in. I do feel like Garrison will snag a win here, though. Maybe even Tooker, or Tate. Although Tate's not in the playoffs. But as far as my mindset, I'm going to go out and try and win. But we'll start to be looking at Nashville as it gets closer.
Well, all right, Tyler, good luck the next 2 races, and good luck in the championship race. Congrats on being the first one to lock in, and come back and talk to us next week.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, guys, we saw an exciting race for Darlington. We saw 3 wide without a crash. We saw some great car control out of a few guys tonight, like Tate Lytle down there in 1 and 2. Saw some different tire strategies, and ended up with our first of the guys to get locked into the championship 4, Tyler Fody. No surprise. If you'd have told me at the start of the season, Fody would have been the first guy to get locked into that championship race. I don't think anybody would have been surprised, but watching the season play out, Garrison Hogan has looked strong. David Tooker's looked strong. All these guys have looked strong at some points in the year. So it's kind of a straight up dogfight there to get into this thing, and now you've got basically 8 guys vying for 3 spots with 2 races. What are you guys expecting to see as we move forward here?
We do have the updated points there. I grabbed them and put them up there for you.
So it looks like we know Fody's locked in because, we know he's not going to miss. Tooker's there. Tooker's pretty safe, but Weeks down is pretty tight. We got him with a 2-point cushion over Adams. Then it's 6 points to Garrison and Rucker, tied at the 5th spot. 10 points. So we're looking at 13 points from 3rd to 8th here.
Pretty wide open.
Very, very tight. 13 points can change in a single lap. I mean, you can even, what is that, 19 points? 19 points from 3rd to 9th. We are going to see some, I think this will start taking shape. I think we're going to see about 6 guys, get it down to 4 or 6 guys next week. It'll take shape as to who's got a real shot to point their way in, who's got to win. But what are you guys looking to see here as we move forward to Milwaukee? That's not a place I've seen a whole lot of racing or done a whole lot of racing, so I think next week's kind of a crapshoot for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, that cut line's gonna be interesting to see if Hogan can work his way back up, or Josh Adams or Rucker or Isabella can maybe point their way up there. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Milwaukee. I've only ran a handful of races there, so I don't think a lot of these guys know what to expect. To your point, but for my experience, it does drive like a short track, so I don't know if we're going to see a lot of carnage. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of green flag runs, hard to pass. I mean, maybe that's the wild card of this round for these guys. I mentioned before, earlier on at the start of the broadcast, there's no real wild card in this round. Maybe that one's it.
Yeah, Milwaukee, it's a mile track, but it's a lot of corner. It's a lot of break. It drives like a short track, like you said, but it's a bigger track, but it's just got a lot of corner. It's long corners, long wide corners. You're going to use a lot of brake, and I am very interested to see what we've got when we get there next week. But we got a week to go before we get there, a week to sit on these points. Garrison Hogan's got a week to sit there and think about what could have been there here at the end of the Darlington race. So I want to give a shout out to everybody at the Elite Racing Network, everybody who helps make this thing happen. Next week, we've got 100 laps from the Milwaukee Mile. Tonight, we ran 150 at Darlington, or 110 at Darlington. It was the Darlington 150. Thanks to you guys for being up here. All our sponsors, everybody at Mrs. Goody's Goodies, C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, Powerhouse Recycling, and JD's Hilltop Salvage. Couldn't do this without all of our sponsors, Chad Frankenfield, everybody who helps make this thing happen. Come back and see us next week. Wednesday, we pick back up again in the Cup Series with their playoffs. We got an F1 race next Sunday night on the Elite Racing Network. So we are back in full swing here after our time off for Memorial Day. So come and check us out.